Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We're going to be making this ice coffee topper, okay? I am using liquid latex for this topper. I like to put it on the bottom of some of my lids so that way it repels the epoxy. So if you haven't watched some of my old tutorials, go ahead and go back and watch them because you'll see that I use this a lot. It helps with the cleanup, okay? So this is an alternative for those of you who may want something a little bit more cost effective. When I first came out with this topper in 2020, I just used resin. Okay, a lot of people now are buying the acrylic ice pieces, which come out great as well to make your iced coffee or your lemonade toppers. But if you want an alternative, something that you can just kind of continually make, this is a cube mold. I'll have it linked in the description. And you can just go ahead and pour your resin straight into this mold and then, go ahead and take it out and you'll have a lot of different cubes that you can use for your iced coffee look. Okay. And so that's what you see me doing here. I am not concerned about the bubbles because we know ice does have bubbles, so it does give it a really cool look. I am using a fast setting epoxy by Counterculture, and I'm just going to pour it in there. You can let this cure, if you're using fast set for about 2 hours and then pop them out, okay? And you can store these, and whenever you need an ice topper, you will have these cubes, okay? So that's what you see me doing here. And again, if you don't want the bubbles, take your little torch or your lighter, go ahead and, pop those bubbles, or even you can spritz some alcohol on this and it'll pop the bubbles. Okay, so when I first taught this in my mentorship group, like in 2020, I believe, I used to call this a 4-in-1 tutorial because if you go on my channel and you look back, okay, you have the mango nata tutorial, you have the ice cube, you have the pills, and I'm going to be bringing one more to you soon. But if you go back and you look, all four of them are the same technique and you're just using different items to create a topper. Okay, so you still want to go ahead with your liquid latex on the bottom, and then whatever pieces you decide to use, you're going to kind of repeat those steps. Okay, here I'm taking my UV resin and again placing the ice cubes down on to my lid, okay, and then I'm going to place this under my UV light. I'm using, and I always say this, but I'm using my UV resin as the glue, holding my pieces together. Personally, I seal all my toppers. I know a lot of people use UV resin as like their final, you know, seal, I guess, on their toppers. And everybody has their own opinion on that, okay? But I go ahead and seal with an epoxy, and that's the way I can ensure that my toppers are not gonna break apart. Okay, so as you see me using the UV resin here, I'm really just using it just to hold these in place. And I really like the way this cube mold makes the ice, the ice cubes look. I really, really like it a lot. And so once I have it built up, just like the pill topper, just like the mango nata topper, once I have it built up, then I'm gonna go ahead with the next steps. Also, UV resin is kind of expensive. I am not knocking it, but I'm just trying to give you guys a cost-effective way. Okay, so here I have a deep mold. Okay, I like to go ahead and put my lid on top of a deep mold, just so that when the resin does, drain out, it's not draining onto my silicone mat. All right. And here I'm taking my paintbrush and I'm just going to go around and gloss up these ice cubes because sometimes when they come out of the mold, they can be a little dull. Okay, so I'm just going to go around and paint them. It does not take a long time. You're not really focusing much on every detail, okay, but you are focusing on making sure that it's nice and shiny and glossy like ice should be, okay. And it gives it a nice little wet, look, and you're going to continue to go around on all of the ice cubes. All right, and then after we do that, we're going to go ahead and start adding our alcohol inks. This is to give it a nice iced coffee look. The alcohol inks that I'm going to be using are going to be linked in the description, but they are caramel, which is one of my favorite alcohol ink colors, and I'm going to be using white alcohol ink by Pinata. Both of them I purchased at Michael's. Okay, here I'm just pouring some of this remaining epoxy all around. Okay, remember we have liquid latex on the bottom that is helping repel the epoxy so we don't have a big mess to clean up. We have our deep pouring mold, which it's going to allow the epoxy to drain into that mold. Okay, so here's the alcohol ink. This is a little dropper that came with this alcohol ink, and here I'm just alternating colors, trying to get that nice blend of iced coffee. Okay, and you're gonna do this until you are satisfied with it. There really is no rhyme or reason. I would just say the more you add, the more like milky it can look, so just be careful with that. Okay, but after you are done, you're gonna seal it one more time just to seal in that alcohol ink. Okay, and then you have this beautiful iced coffee topper. Look at this cleanup. The liquid latex to me is definitely such a helpful tool in repelling the epoxy and making sure that everything is cleaned. The only thing you need to make sure is that you clean off your lid, okay, with soap and water, and then alcohol, just to make sure there's no more traces of liquid latex. And that is it. What a cute and easy way to dress up your iced coffee tumbler. I just want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks to the new subscribers and those of you that have been my OG subscribers from day one. I thank you guys so much for your support. If you are looking to learn more about tumblers and toppers, I invite you to join my mentorship group. You can join at tapestrytribe.com.